Welcome back to another episode of Rusted Nuts and Ratchets Garage. Today I'll be working on the Supra. Finally got it back in the garage after getting my 03 Outback project all finished. So that's all getting done. So today I'll be doing rubber rock guard floor. I was originally going to do a truck bed liner floor, but after reading some stuff on the forums that the truck bed liner has some poly in it that has some toxins that are still released even after the curing process, and considering this is not a race car and it's a daily driver, that could be a bit of a concern for myself, considering I'm going to own this car until somebody hits it or it blows up or whatever. Even if it dies, I'll just keep fixing it. So anyway, a few years ago I noticed that my rear seats were waterlogged because the rear fender wells were sucking water in the rainy days. So that's how my back seats got ruined. I pulled them all out and put the rubber rock guard floor down probably about 5 years ago, maybe 6. And it's held up pretty good, but it's time to refresh it, and I think I'm going to take it further up. So I'll give you a look at what we got and where we're going to hopefully get to. So the reason, like I said, for the poly, this is a polyurethane coating in this bed armor. I bought this a while ago to do the back. I'm glad I read the internet just because I don't need to be breathing in terrible chemicals, and neither do you. So I'm going to probably go with a premium rubberized Rockerguard. 3M makes one that says that it's for interior, exterior use as well. I'm going to assume that this one is. I'm going to have to maybe dig up the MSDS sheets on it as well. But so far, I don't see anything that will cause me not to use it on an interior surface. So here's the floor. Like I said, this is about 10 years, and this is a daily driver. So like, it's held up pretty well, especially considering it's just under the seat. And I'll probably be making some form of a cover or an amp rack or something for this. This year I'd like to be a little bit more clean with the Supra. It's been a few years since it's got the love that it used to get. It used to get a cleaning every Sunday. So anyway, to get started on this, I'm going to get the shop vac out and vacuum up all the crud and whatnot and clean it all up. Alright, so I've gone ahead and vacuumed the back. And now I'm going to use my wire wheel on my drill to clean and rough up the surface that I will be applying the rock guard to. So like I said, it did hold up pretty good, and I'm scratching it and it's not really doing much. And I personally don't remember sealing this off very well, to be honest. Scuffing it up very well before painting. But I'm also probably going to remove my rear seat belts because they are no longer necessary. And yeah, and I have to figure out where this water is coming from because there's water down in there. I don't know if you can see that, but there's water down there. So I'm going to go ahead and put the wire wheel to it. So now I've got it cleaned up with the wire wheel. I've got all the fuzz that was left over from the insulation between the bottom of the seat and where the seat mounted. I'm going to use some Varsol or some sort of mineral spirit cleaner to clean up the rest of the dust and whatnot, and then I'm going to go over this with a Scotch-Brite pad or something quite like it. You just want to rough up the surface so that that stuff sticks. As you can see right there, I have my respirator mask and the drill with the wire wheel on it, and some safety glasses, you know, for the flecks of crap that are going to fly up at your face while you're doing that. So I still got some prep work to do. When I get it all prepped and taped up, I'll show you the painting process. Pretty simple, straightforward. If you watched any of my other painting videos, you know, hold it 10 centimeters away and spray back and forth, covering everything lovely. Alright, so here we are. I just cleaned it with actually a mild degreaser. Get rid of that there. So, cleaned it with a mild degreaser. I don't have any more clean cloths to clean it with. Try to say that 3 times fast. But, so I'm going to leave it like this for now. I'll let the degreaser dry, and then I'm going to come back and re-clean it so I can get into where the nits and grits of the dust and rust, because that's where the water was coming in through the rear pillars there. And I've already fixed the wheel well leakage as well. So basically trying to freshen it up. I want it to look really nice this summer, because I feel like the last 3 years I've been just getting by with it. So when I get some more rags, we'll make this happen. Alright, so I said I was going to do the back seat of the car, but I decided to strip out the whole trunk too. I patched in a couple holes here last night and almost burned down the garage because I'm a dummy sometimes. But so I decided to go against bedliner after doing a little research and finding out that some of the ingredients in a bedliner can still emit fumes even after they're cured. Not necessarily sure if that's true or not, but at the same time, not willing to take the risk. So I'm going with a product that I've been using for years on my cars, which is this here premium Rubberized Rockerguard Black. It's done me pretty good. I'm going to do the trunk first because I'm going to be running some Dynamat. So I don't have anything masked off yet, but I'm just going to do the tire hole first and work my way out, and then I'll mask off the things that I think will be necessary, because keep in mind that all of this is plastic interior stuff that will be getting replaced after. Then by replaced I mean just reinstalled. So I'll get right into it. So generally speaking, you'd want to have a nicely well ventilated area and some sort of respirator. So I've got this one here around my neck, and my shop isn't necessarily that ventilated, but I'm just going to spray it and then go in for the night probably. So I'll run the video for a little bit while I'm doing some spraying, and I'll show you the end. And hopefully this comes out nicely, because it wasn't last night. So with this rubber rocker guard, it's not so light and atomized that it's going to overspray all over everything. That's why I don't have much masked off. But there will be some stuff that I mask off around the edges. And you don't necessarily have to put it on in light coats, but you don't want to go too heavy because it will probably run as well. So basically, that's kind of what it's going to look like. I will be putting Dynamat down after anyway. That's why I'm not too concerned about height. Plus, it's a spare tire hole, for God's sakes. But that's why I'm not considering about doing a good patch job on those two holes that I plugged up last night, nor for the whole trunk. But I'm going to Dynamat from that bar there back. And in the future I might Dynamat the floor as well. So that's where we're at. I'll turn you back on when I've got it all masked off and when I'm ready to spray some more. So I'm going to finish this up and show you the results. Okay, so I've got the back seat all cleaned up. I've got it to the point where I want it. If I was positive that I would just be putting like bedliner or rubber rock guard down and that's it, then I'd be fine. I'd probably go a little bit further in the preparation, because the end product basically represents the preparation that you put into it. So if you do a lot of prep work and do a really good job taping everything off, it's going to look better in the end. But I'm going to end up making something to cover all of this ugliness, whether it be fiberglass and something or other, but regardless, where it's at right now is where I'm okay with it. So I've already gone ahead and shaken this can up pretty good to get the contents all mixed around. And I'm just going to start to spray. So tonight I'm just going to put a light coat on the where the seat used to be. And tomorrow morning I'm going to go and tape everything off beautifully to make it look as nice as possible before I decide what the end result will actually be. I'll also be doing a little kill mat, 50 mil thickness in the trunk cargo area to deaden any sounds from my subwoofer when I do get it hooked all back up again. So typical spraying fashion, 10 centimeters away in a sweeping motion, try to keep it as even as possible. It's going to be kind of hard in here because of the close proximity. And then also keep in mind your ventilation and wearing a mask plus overspray. But like I said earlier in the video, this stuff generally doesn't have much of a mist when you spray it. So you can kind of see right here. It kind of... And it typically coats in one coat pretty good. So, like I said, I did this one about a decade ago, and maybe even more. And it's held up pretty good.